Looking for a place that does it all? Maldinis by the River serves mouth-watering breakfasts, pasta, pizzas and more, plus amazing coffee and cocktails. They hit the spot every single time. You're planning a special event? Well, their private function room and versatile restaurant are the perfect place for any celebration. Good food, good friends, good times, Maldinis. Welcome back to Life in 5, the podcast where we dive into 5 key moments that shape some of the most interesting people in sport, media and entertainment. I'm MG and today's guest is one of the toughest forwards the game has ever seen. He's also one of my really great mates, a premiership winner, State of Origin enforcer and larger-than-life personality. Spud Carroll left a mark on the game that still gets talked about today. It brings me great pleasure to introduce my mate, Spudley, Mark Carroll. Spudley.
Hey, thanks for the invite, big man.
Hello,
Finally,
buddy.
I got to start.
Finally.
It's been ages.
Well,
see you, mate.
if you want to be, we're very transparent, me and you. I interviewed you about 6 months ago.
Yes, you did.
And something happened.
Yeah, some up here, the Gremlins got our record. It was some of my best work, so hopefully I can duplicate that.
Well, mate, you've just recently, you've even though you're retired, you still seem to capture some headlines about, just over a month ago, you were in the papers for something about DCE. I mean, It's not like you to be like that. You're kind of one of them guys who, obviously speak your mind, but you're all also very respectful to the current players. This must have been something that kind of, you went, wow, that irked you.
Yeah, it did. If you go back, it was when I just got annoyed when I seen DC going live TV, no emblem, no sponsors to say I'm quitting Manly. But what I wrote was, I've been writing a column for the last 2 years. I love to get my own point across. My thing was,
So nightly.
I would love to have seen him to get up, say, look, I'm leaving Manly, and I also am not going to play Origin. I want to put all my energies in the Manly to win the comp. No, he went and played Origin, and then he ended up getting punted after game 2. And I just see the wheels of the Manly cart just fell off, man. And for example, last one, nicest man at rugby league, Jake Voyevich, got asked, where do you think DCE is going? He goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that was derailment.
We knew something was going on. And I suppose there's a lesson to be learned here from anyone else going forward. Like when you see the way DCE's thing played out and for whatever reason, and then you see someone like Jamal Fogarty who's played out the same, he told them earlier in the year that he was leaving and going to Manly. Then he has star-studded year. I mean,
he certainly did.
It's hard to really, when your playmaker is you don't know where he's going to be. It's hard as forwards, isn't it? We don't know whether,
Exactly. Now, the thing is, he is the only reason. Sure, everyone has injuries, but I just think, as you said, Fogarty, he's been trying to be man of the match every game. If I was leaving, right, and I did it when I went to South Sydney, I wanted to prove a point to say, you guys are going to miss me. When I was at Penrith, went to South Sydney, and that was my point of view.
We always knew you were going to go. Like
in my head, but the thing is, that's how I've been built to, always give 110%. Even if we lost, like when I got to South, mate, we won 2 games.
Yeah, I know.
I got a bloody wooden spoon, but every game, I actually try man of the match. It was good.
Well, let's get to we need some tissues. Sammy, can you pass these tissues, mate? Because even though we're big enforcers of the game, we both like a tear. And we don't shy away from the fact that we like it here. We love our families, and I think this could be an emotional one with Spudley because your first photos, buddy, are of obviously you and Monique and your 2 beautiful kids on the left-hand side here. And on the right is you and Monique with your 2 beautiful parents. Tell us why this made Mark Carroll's 5 best photos.
Well, without Mum and Dad, you're not born.
That's true.
You're in your dad's thoughts for quite a while, but born in the 67 myself, and my mum reckons, my dad was a muso, used to play for Johnny O'Keefe.
Yeah.
And my mum's only 5 foot tall, and I was a 10-pound baby, so that would have hurt the poor bugger. And I reckon they put me into soccer, and I had the boots on. All I did was dig holes, and my mum goes, this kid's got no brains, we'll put him in the rugby league. And I've got to thank my mum for that. But as you go on in footy, mate, I lost my dad a couple of years ago, and he was a tough bastard, and we used to butt heads like 2 bulls. But I look back now, I'm thinking, when I played rugby league, I was always out there to impress Mum and Dad. You know, wait, get home. What do you think, Dad? And if you had a bad game, mate, he'd fucking get into you.
Same as exactly
he'd
like
hand
me.
Like,
Mum would always go, darling, you were great. And Dad would go,
my dad hammered
Dad wouldn't
me.
talk to me if I had a bad game.
Yeah. And it was right through playing up first grade. It wasn't juniors.
No.
Right through. It was just like his thing. My dad never played footy. He was built like a pretzel.
Same. My dad.
At the end of it, when he passed away, he looked like he ate a sheep. But Mum and Dad sort of, I don't know, someone said the other day, Spud, you used to get off the ground. How did you do that? Well, the main thing was my dad always said, never show you hurt, always get up. It's an old saying. I was more worried about my dad jumping the fence, keep me up the arse. It really was.
What is it about them? Because they're both very similar, I suppose, ages, your dad, my dad, and other blokes around. Like, so I know Mark Blackburn, who was our vintage.
Yeah.
His dad, Pasquale, was tough on him.
Bloody
A
hell,
lot
it
of
was.
dads were tough on their kids that are our age. What do you think that was?
It's their upbringing, mate. They're probably
Their parents' upbringing, you mean?
Yeah, they've always wanted to have a son, and and then to have you first, and I don't know. It's just one of our things. Did I push my son Josh? No,
Because I can imagine doing that to my son.
no, I couldn't. But you think of toughness. My dad, when he was 21, he had a car accident. Back then it was a V-dub, so the petrol's at the front, and he had a car crash, and it blew up. He was 75% burnt. I never ever seen him in shorts.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember, unfortunately, his girlfriend died at the time. And I remember I asked him a question. I said, Dad, what was the pain like? And he goes, son, you don't know what pain is. Because back then it was like they didn't have the skin they could make. It's all graft. It was all taken off. And I just think the way I played him, that was in the back of my mind, man. Think about it. What's pain? I'm not burnt. Get off the bloody ground, I broke quite a few different things.
I didn't know that you did.
Yeah, wow. That's why class is bloody tough, But I do miss him, mate. And the biggest thing I do is, sorry,
That's all right, buddy.
sorry to tell you, my new passion is actually music. Been playing in the band, doing a duet, and one thing which was great, that my dad actually watched me play my first time on stage. It was very cool. Like,
Well, you've been going lately with Guru and Wayne Pearce. And
I love it, mate.
You've been going down to Illawarra Yacht Club a bit. And
no, I absolutely love it, MG. It's just, where do you get, your talent as a kid? I got taught guitar. Dean got a drum kit. And I remember this Christmas was just A into D, A into D, and I know, and then look, piano and out of music. One thing my dad always said, you got a good ear for music, which means I can pick up things pretty quick. And I absolutely love it, mate. I can't wait to get on stage. To play with Wayne Pearce, who I played against, play with Eric Grove Senior. He was one of my favourites. I used to bump every person out in Greystanes, me and my brother versus street, and I'd have the Eric Grove bump, being a Parramatta supporter. Just going back also to my family. So Monique, met Monique when I was 19. She was 16. And I knew I would marry her. And I've fabulous. I got two great kids. Josh, 29 now. Never played rugby league. I didn't want him to hurt, mate.
Nah.
I was more worried about someone saying, I don't like that Carroll bloke. Go and fix it. And then my daughter, Indiana, she was the first ever in the Carroll tree. When she was born, the doctor said, you've got a girl. I started crying. I go out, mum and dad, they're crying. I come in and Indiana's laying there in the crib and she's all covered up. And I went, oh, mate, she's bloody beautiful. And I went, seriously, have you checked? She goes, I didn't check. So I got the midwife in to check if she was a girl. And she goes, she said, you're a fucking idiot. Because she looks like me. But I'll tell you what, she's a gorgeous thing, Indiana. She's been chasing the dream of cheerleading over in Dallas. Unfortunately, missed out.
She made headlines.
Yeah.
Well,
she's
you got some talent, because I know Josh is really good at
camera work. He's freakish.
A bit like Brandy's young bloke, Liam.
Yeah.
The drones and they make things look so good.
Yeah, but my
you and Monique, I was at your wedding. It was pissing down rain.
It was, mate. It was. You know, I was filthy about. I had a Commodore back then. Like, I just had it detailed and it got bloody rained on. So, but Monique's been, it was through rugby league, mate.
How good is
she
it?
was my rock.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I'm not smart enough to teach the kids things in school. Homework, I got no idea. But Monique should be, she's the queen of our family. She's been great for what she loves. She loves cheerleading. 30 years at Manly.
I know.
The best in the game.
Yeah.
And, I love my family.
Which brings us to photo number 2. This looks like Doogie Howser or something. Wow. So you are, how old here?
Got graded at 19. 19. Have a go at the
Look
ears.
at the wing nuts on him.
Well, my head's actually grown, so now they've actually come in, I reckon. But back then...
No, your ears are actually, your ears have, all the years of tape in your ears, they've come...
No, it's my head's got bigger. It's pulled that in, but looking at that photo, the mad bum part back then, right through the middle, had the mullet, and mate, it was just a dream come true. Just to get graded, as I said, I'm a Para Junior.
Para Junior, yeah.
And I got shafted when I was 14. And then I went to the dark side. I played rugby union for 2 years and made all the rep sides because I could tackle. I got no idea. And then played for St. Pat's at Blacktown, and that's where we met. You're at St. Mary's, and for our viewers here, we're both 5'8", and we did everything. Chip over the tops, goal kicks, line kicks, field goals.
It was amazing because what happened is I didn't play against you till under 15s or 16s, and I remember hearing about you in the clubland, and everyone said, who spoke about you, said he's like you, he's same height, 5'8", tallest bloke in the field. And I said, built like pretzels. And then I've come against you at some Pat's home ground. I went, fuck, he is. Look at him. He's
well, you had the same haircut too.
We both wore a wig. And we were. Like we kicked for touch. We were captains. And then it wasn't long until we went to grade together.
Yeah, well, actually, you got graded before me, but I just couldn't wait to get there, mate. And just, you'll see the old jersey, old school, 3/4 sleeves, 2KA. Yeah. Collar, none of these real tight ones.
Well, it wasn't long after this photo that we started cutting our sleeves off.
Yeah, well, you'll see in the next photos. There's a photo of you and I.
Look how much I'm sucking my gut in. You can see my ribs. I look like
I
look like a sheep that hasn't been eaten for 8 years.
I put these two photos in my book, Spud Carroll story, and
Adam
the first
Hawes?
comment. Adam Hawes did a fantastic job. Yeah. But the first person, one of my good mates, goes, mate, it's stalk the stalk. And we go, we're cock on cock. It's just ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, weren't we pumped up? And the other photo is fantastic. We used to go out. I remember we used to go to in the Castle Taverns and we had a couple of blues down there.
Wasn't that Kangaroo Tour on the right?
Kangaroo Tour.
That's us going out Manchester. Yeah. Because you couldn't go out without a tie.
Fantastic.
Hey? So me and Spud used to, when Spud made grade, he kind of taught me how to train properly because you were right into the gym, you loved it, and you're the kind of guy who made me want to do the gym better. And we met a bloke called Dennis Bailey,
Bales,
who, God love him, he's still with us, Bales, and went over to his gym at Emerton, days we didn't train.
Brings memories.
And then just pumped up. We said, let's go. And and then all of a sudden we were there. Like that was...
Well, the thing, especially in 89, I went down to... played for South in 1990. I remember we did our workout, shook hands, and we said, this made the Kangaroo Tour. And that year, as I said, I only won 2 games, but through the year I actually made a Australian side out of the blue. Thank God Bozo was in the stand. I remember my dad would ring up, always give me 2 names, the bash, and then hang up. That was it. This time he gave me 3. He goes, Ian Roberts, Martin Bella, and remember Bob Fulton's in the stand, Kangaroo Tour, and then hangs up, right? Anyway, that particular game...
That's how we hang up with the phone.
That's right. Remember the chords? And then that particular game, I cleaned up Ian Roberts, and the boys come down and gave him a rabbit chop. And I remember I was working, Alcan, ripping into the roof, and this lady comes out. Back then, mobile phones weren't the go.
No.
And she goes, which one's Mark? I said, yeah, mate. She goes, there's a phone call for you. I went, shit, someone's dead. Oh. So I went in there, trepitation. Hello. Jeff Carr, Australian Rugby League, you made the Australian side. Mate, I start howling.
Wow.
And I ring my dad, he's howling. And next thing, 1990, man. It was
playing for...
mate, it's just so good. But also, later on, just to hear your name through the radio... Like, it wasn't this phone call all the time. It was like, hear your name through the radio.
But you were talking about your musical prowess. You were the only person who took a guitar with him on the Kangaroo Tour.
No, I didn't. No, I bought one over there.
Oh, did you?
I bought one over there.
Oh, I took it with you.
I remember Bozo used to take the piss out of me. Go and get your guitar. And the only song I played back then was Wild Thing. I bring it down. He go, take it back. So I go up. It was like a bloody yo-yo, back and forth. But, mate, it was just great, man. I'm lucky enough I'm going over, taking a Kangaroo Tour party of 50 people over.
Oh,
I can't wait, man.
It's just on your own?
Yeah, hopefully I got an offsider, but no, I can't wait. It should be good. But just going back to 1990, Yeah, we had the best games, smash and crash. We played the Wednesday game, then just go and bash the shit out the pommies.
So when you look back on that,
piss.
when you look back on that, right? We play Wednesday night. We'd go out after the game Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We'd go out Thursday night. We'd probably train Friday morning, then go out Friday night.
Yeah.
We didn't play Sunday, so we go out Saturday night. Saturday night was a big night.
Well, my
And
favourite.
then Sunday would be the first team's lackeys.
Yes.
What do you want, boys?
That's right.
We have to get their boots, tape their boots.
But going over there was no business class. We sat in economy.
I know.
I remember I did all my money with Alfie playing coins.
Playing coins.
And then for some reason, we always lost the first test. And I remember going out myself from a kebab shop, Johnny Cartwright and you and me, and these pommies come in. They see, I remember we used to wear the shirts with the badge. Oh, you go battle up, boys, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And then I remember MG going, I didn't say goodbye to him properly. I went, oh, shit, here we go. We've had quite a few blues together out window. And we knock on the door, and the bloke opens the black cab and said, mate, I didn't say goodnight to you properly. And he goes, oh, good on you, lad. And went, bang, left hand. And then you walked away. 1-1.
The Molly Duca.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was a great trip.
Great memories.
And then once we got back, you basically, I think over there, Bozo groomed you to go to Manly.
Yeah, I remember coming back and playing for South. I played shithouse. I came back, I think I put about 8 kilo on it, but I came back 115. I had the mobility of an ocean line. I couldn't move. Shoulder pads, student shoulder pads, headgear. And in that year, I got up 91, 92. I was leaving in 93 to go to Manly. And again, I was playing ordinary. I knew I was going to Manly. No one knew about it until it did get out. And back then, I used to have Spud number plates and park the car at the Sydney Football Stadium. Anyway, the Rabbits supporters mate, they're so passionate.
Yeah.
Guess what? My whole windscreen, I couldn't put the window wiper. They all spat on my car. Oh, golly city. So that was my goodbye to South Sydney.
Oh, my goodness.
But I must say, I went to South to play continuous second row back then. You and Cardi were ahead of me, and went down there, and I remember George Pickens goes, I want to teach you to be a front row. I said, George, I'm all yours. And mate, he was a tough bugger. Remember he training, he'd come out and always wear bare feet, and I don't know why. And he'd run out the line. One time I dropped the ball. And he goes, you look at that now. I said, get the hell out of my way. I'm going to run over you. He did the same play. I hit this bloke so hard. He went, roll back. He lay on the ground, gave him a black eye. And then his wife said, what are you doing to my husband? I said, get him out of my way. So
we both had kind of them characters in our careers. Ron Willie was a bit like that, old school. Yeah. And we didn't know that Ron was...
Remember Ron Willie?
We didn't know Ron was kind of in the first stages of onset dementia when he coached us. And he was, to us, he loved us. Yeah. He just, because we're big and strong, he just wanted us.
You'd always worry about how heavy you were.
Yeah. What do you weigh, Mountain?
What do you weigh?
I go, 106. He goes, no, put another 3 kilos on. And then he gave me them big 6-foot heels to get out of the plane at Brisbane on.
That's right.
And I walked out and like the duck.
The thing about Ron Willie, I remember we'd do ball work, and you and I always had a pass spiral. As soon as you threw a spiral, go back. Yep. Always had to be hands over.
All the backs, like Brandy and Wiz are going, what? No, but for a reason.
Yeah, and then
because they're hard to take spirals.
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a giggle. I think this year.
Remember, he had Matty Goodman tennis ball.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, Matty Goodman, I'm actually going to his birthday. He's turning 60 very soon.
65.
He's nearly bald too. Remember how I used to grow my hair like his? I tried to grow a mo. You look at Gus Gill come out and said, Lockie Galvin's the best talent I've ever seen, mate. Do you remember Crowe Alexander? Oh. He was a freak. He was a freak. I remember he never stretched down. He'd hop back in that bloody car and drive home. Yeah. I remember on the Kangaroo tour in France, and he goes, if I score 4 tries, I'm doing the backflip. Yep. He was the first to do the backflip. First one. Incredible, but yeah.
I've had some benders with him, and the next morning we had a time trial, and he's won it, and then jogged home.
That's right.
Just a freak.
But he was next door when we were on tour in 1999. He was next door with
Rowdy Shearer, and the best thing about it was Brandy couldn't give a shit where he left, so he just closed his bag. If it was left, I had all this gear. I'd come out with bags and bags. But I remember one time they chased me, and back then, remember we had those bloody bungers from Hancock. Crackernight.
And they throw them, and just bang, I couldn't, my ears just going, mate, good memories, mate.
Okay, we'll get to another photo here. This is your fourth one. It's the man on the left-hand side. You've got Russell Crowe and Tugger Coleman. On the right is Spud, the Mark Carroll story. Did you ever think you'd see your name up in lights on with your own book?
No, I didn't. I've always wanted to write a book. Adam Hawes did a fantastic job for me. But that photo shows Russell Crowe and Craig Coleman. But the thing is, the main person in the middle, Russell Crowe, it's crazy how you meet people, sliding door moments. I went to London in 98 to play for London Broncos, played shithouse, just went over there thinking it was going to happen. No, it didn't happen. I came back. But the main reason was because I love $1 too much. Back then, it was 3-1.
Yeah.
My contract was Australian dollars.
Yeah.
So when I go and get a pizza, 20 quid, I'm thinking $60. So I ended up coming home and, the way to meet people, I remember before a game, I was a bit of a nutcase, if you can't tell. And Tom Cruise walks in. And I went, Tom Cruise? He was short, but he had really nice hair. And then Russell walks in. And I go, mate, who's this bloke? Get him out. Anyway, but he'd made one movie. And
It's Robert Stomper.
he came up to me after the game and, how are you, Russell? I said, mate, you're nice to meet you. I love watches. And he had a Submariner on, Rolex. And he was that proud of it. He goes, oh, thanks very much. I said, mate, I'm going to get one day. And
What are they worth?
a bit of money. But crazy thing about it is we were in contact. I retired in 99 and then I started, mate, it took me 4 years sort of get over rugby league. I really found it hard. And the fourth year, I'd always go to one game, MG, and it was South League St. George, SCG, and Monique would always say, just see Russell. He'd always be in the crowd with his dad. And I went up to him and he said, I want you to play rugby league again. I said, look, who for? Aurora Valley Axemen. And I said, okay, ring me tomorrow 9 o'clock. So I go home, say, Monique wants to play rugby league. And she goes, just go and play and bash someone. We get out of your system. Then I ring Desi up. Old Desi has a tight ass. He goes, oh, Spud. Yeah, make sure you say you want to get to his network. Don't worry about money. So my thing was, MG, I was selling office stationery and I'd go Tuesday, come back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, play, come back. I could take the kids up for joyrides anytime. Everyone thought I was in a Learjet. I was in one of those propeller planes. Even when they start, ladies, first girl, ladies and gentlemen, whereas I soon grow into reading without seeing it. And we made the grand final. They all made money. It took me 4 games, maybe 5 to get into it. Remember sitting down one night and he goes, how do you think you're going? I said, what do you mean how I'm going? I said, half's me because I'm here, but half you dick and you're in the stand. I said, but when I get the cobwebs off, mate, I went ballistic, MG. I was dropping blokes. It was fantastic. And then we made the grand final and unfortunately lost the grand final. But for saying thank you, he bought me that Rolex.
Whoa.
So great memories, man. It was,
Far out.
Then I worked with him for
then you were his bodyguard for
5 or 6 years.
Like that was the word. The word was that you were his bodyguard.
Oh,
but
come on, mate.
You're more of a mate.
Of course. No, he likes walking and I just be behind having a chat and he used to get pissed off that people would yell at me more than him. I can't help it. We played rugby league.
Yeah.
And we put a smile on people's faces. But I was fortunate enough to go over and do a movie with him, MG, to watch someone work the way he did. It was called James Braddock, Cinderella Man.
Yeah.
And he really thought he was a boxer. Angelo Dundee, the great Angelo, was there. Ron Howard, remember Ron Howard from
Happy Days.
Oh, Monkey, he had a little bit of a Devon patch on the back of his head. Renee Zellweger and Paul Giamatti from Billions, which I love that show.
Paul Giamatti.
It's crazy how I think after about 5 weeks, no one was really talking much. They started filming and we had a couple of Aussies and we're throwing the balls spiral, 30, whatever. And then Ron Howard comes up and goes, Spud, how do you do that? Because they're all used to this thing. So I went in there.
Showed him.
Had of course, had a video of me and the chief. Anyway, and he's looking at it and he looked around and he goes, you're not wearing any pads. I said, no, I had a mouth guard, And then, mate, he took me out for dinner. It was such a great trip. I know now, MG, why I had 150 people on set, mate. We can talk. We've got a so-called personality. I've got no filter, and it was such a great thing, mate. It was such a great thing. And then
what an experience, Bug. Like
it was
watching Happy Days as kids, as we did, seeing the Fonz and Richie in Arnold's or ours, and then meeting him and throwing a torpedo bar for him.
One of the funniest days was every Friday, Russell would have this thing called Bad Shirt Friday, and he'd always put 500 of his own money in. And it just kept going weeks and weeks, and I'm trying to win 500, right? So actually the last one I went to, it was like St. Vinny's, And I said to this lady, I said, what's something different? She goes, what about a dress, love? I said, if you get me in a dress, I'm wearing a dress. It was a green number. And I remember going in, also has a semi-trailer that follows him around the world full of gym gear. Man, I was 120 kilos, fucking massive. And I remember all pumped up and I had little sneakers on. The first person I seen...
Where's that one of the photos?
I know. The first person I seen was Renee Zellweger. And with actors, they have what they call doubles. So
Yeah, stunt double.
Stunt double. So she comes out and she goes... Oh, Spud, I said, I'm your double for today. And then Russell comes out, you're dead, you're wearing it all day, which I did. But I remember going past the canteen and the girls go, show us some legs, Spud. So I pulled the skirt up, you know. Next week, bad shirt Friday again. A guy walked past me. He had a white shirt on with an Australian badge. I went, that's a cool shirt. I'm on the back of it. 150 people have got my picture on the back.
Oh.
I go around the corner. Everyone's wearing the shirts. The first person to come up, Ron Howard.
What?
Spud, can you sign my shirt? I said, turn around, Ronnie.
Wow.
So,
that's
good memories,
awesome.
mate. Yeah, very cool.
Well, that's what rugby league can do for you, brother. Because but also on the top of that, we live on a roller coaster as rugby league players because we're not immune to losing close people to us. And for your last photo, you've got two of them people who you've lost along the way.
Yeah,
tell us who they are. Tell us who they are, so that people listening, and what they mean to you.
Well, they're two fantastic people I had at my gym. When I came back from Cinderella Man, Russell said, I want you to find a gym. And I found this one. And I made me sit back and he said, what do you want to, I think you should open up your own gym. What do you want to call it? I went, what? He goes, look, I've seen you work with 150 people. What do you want to call the gym? And I went, Braddocks. I love the word Braddocks. And he goes, no, it's got to be called Spuds. And he drew the font. And the font is actually here now. Still the same font. And how you meet people, like you look at, Rebecca, like she was the first lady to really open the doors for other girls now. The girls have now taken over the game.
It was her and Debbie Spillane.
Yep.
And they were
she was the
trailblazers.
first ever to go into a shed and interview.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we lost Rebecca in 2016. And I remember seeing her.
That long ago?
Yeah, mate.
9 years ago.
Yeah. But this photo here, you can see
she's beautiful
photo.
Yeah.
She was that crook. She did herself up. She knew she was passing and she did that photo. And I'm fortunate enough to still be great mates with her husband, John Hardigan.
And her brother, Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah. Well, I know all the family, but she has two great sons and one, Tom, who still trains at my gym once a week. And he's like another son for me. And the other guy is Justin. He came to my gym for about 10 years and he had everything, MG. But he had a great personality and he used to try and do tricks on me because he got bored with his subordinates. I said, mate, I'm not one of his subordinates. Anyway, he got me with some bloody good ones, right? But the best one he ever got me was, I got him first with the old Staminade.
Yeah.
I said, you want some Staminade? Oh, I never had this. I said, mate, good. So I hit it with red food dye. And he's gone boom, boom, boom. I said, mate, drink all of it. So when he comes out of the shower, I said, mate, sometimes it makes your tongue. And he goes, no, mine's fine. And it was like, he's going, you bastard. So then it was to and fro.
Yeah.
To and fro. And then.
Outdo each other.
Yeah, well, I then got him again with the hot undies. And the only one I had was Metzel, because Metzel can smell. So I remember finding rubbed him, and I could hear him in the shower, and he come out, he goes, oh, you bastard. And he was holding his undies. So I remember going to a compound, came to the seat, come here, I need something so hot, I want to burn this bloke's nuts off. And he goes, come here, be careful. So what I did, I rubbed him in, right? Anyway, he comes out, and he's still got, you can see where he's got the undies above his pants, and he goes, oh, you bastard. I remember taking the video, he's taking it off. So I ended up getting a couple of people with that, but the best one he got me, he came back, and he goes, I said, where you been, mate? He said, oh, I've been at the Sex Expo. I said, yeah. He said, have a look at these. And he pulls a deck of cards out and does this. I said, mate, they're a deck of cards. And he pulls them over. Mate, they're the biggest stalks you've ever seen. So what happened? About 30 minutes after he left, text message, how you going, Spuddy, old boy? Always call me Spuddy. I've left 7 little friends for you. I'm thinking, shit, where are they? The cards. So I go, there's 1, 2.
Around the gym.
Mate, in the gym.
What, with blokes nude, with the old fellas again?
Massive. I find the next 3. It took me 2 months. I'm missing 2. So it's at 9 months. He kept coming in. You found him yet? I said, I haven't found him. But you won't believe, the same girl, One time,
the
one time she was in what they call the hot room, and she came out and she goes, Spud, there's a massive tube of lube in there. I said, mate, this bloke is sick. She then comes in, and I remember she's going, oh, Spud, all these football cards. She goes, which one do you? I said, oh, you'll find it. So she's scanning through it. And she comes in, started on pads. She goes, Spud, I've just seen the biggest cock I've ever seen. He cut him, mate. I'll tell you what, unfortunately he has passed, but at his funeral, his best mate said, Spud, you don't realise it was like he loved it. He just tried to, get you every time.
Just a practical
and
joker.
he'd cut him perfectly and
Practical
stick
joker.
him in. And his final 1mg, the week before he passed, he sent a text again. I see your advertising going well. I went, oh, Jesus Christ, what's he done now? Anyway, outside, it's been there 3 days, on a pole, and he's wrapped it up with elastic, the tape, and it read something like, Spuddy's new training is back. Times this, and for a great cock pull, come in. Cock's 13 inches over, train for free. And that was my last thing with Justin. I was fortunate enough to go to his son's wedding, but Justin's been a big part of my life, mate. As you said, you're just like you lost your good mate, Toby. He was part of my gym, mate. Like, Russell's vision has been bloody incredible.
Yeah.
I do classes.
But he saw
I
that.
do personal training. Everyone's got a nickname.
Yeah.
My favourite nickname is a guy who, he's the heir to a couple of $1 billion, and we call him Lucky Sperm because he is, isn't he? So he introduced himself. Hey, going, I'm Lucky Sperm.
Well, you know what? That is only like a smidgen of your life. Now we get rid of the photos for a minute and we get on to something a little bit more fun. Not that they weren't fun, they were awesome, to be honest. Give me 5. You tell me your favourite things. And number 1 is your favourite all-time band.
Has to be AC/DC. Absolutely love them. Always have.
Can you play them on the guitar?
Play a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Hell's Bells, and we've got Highway to Hell, all that sort of stuff. But AC/DC, mate, they're still going. I'm actually going.
I'm going in November.
I can't wait.
Same. We'll probably go the
They've all
same
gone
night.
grey now, but he does the dancing across. But
Is that big? Angus, is that big?
AC/DC.
Is your favourite song an AC/DC song or something else?
It'd have to be Hell's Bells. Many, many years ago, I thought about being a wrestler, WWE, and that would be my entry, Hell's Bells.
Here comes the Spudley, Mark Carroll.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
What's your favourite TV series of all time?
Series.
What are you binging? You binging anything, or do you go?
I've seen a couple of great ones lately. Landman's probably one of my favourite.
Landman's. Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob, how good to see. And then I've just recently seen America's Team about
Dallas.
Jerry Jones.
Dallas, the Cowboys.
I remember he goes, I could hear the roar because he was an oiler. 100 mil he won. Oh, sorry, he made 100 mil. He then bought the Dallas Cowboys. It's now worth $11 billion.
Wow.
So but I've got to say, Ted Lasso. I couldn't wait. And the other one would have to be American Idol. I love music. I'd tape it. And there was one guy I always wanted to hear. That's Adam Lambert, who's now the head of Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
And what a voice.
fantastic.
Let's just say rugby league's your favourite sport. What other sport do you love watching or playing?
Golf. I can watch it all day.
Really?
Absolutely love it.
You used to be a handy golfer, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh, I'm shit house.
No, okay.
I can hit a long way, but it goes 3 fairways.
Yeah, same.
But
Slice of me.
one thing I am good at putting. That brings back to when I used to play PlayStation, Tiger Woods. I used to love to read the greens. Even people say, mate, you're a good putter, but my putter, it's called Plop, P-L-O-P.
Yeah.
And when I bought it, the sweetest sounding golf. Plop. So golf, just to see.
So you could lay on the lounge, just put golf on and watch it all day. Yeah.
See, someone like Scheffler, they always say, keep your feet still. He shuffles around.
I know.
Rory's got probably the best swing you've ever seen. I can only get to there and to about there.
Same.
But yeah, if I'd like to be anywhere, I'd like to play golf, full time.
Well, we know you're good on the tooth. With a name like Spud, who wouldn't be? But you're in trouble now. You're in jail. And you're not coming out. You're on death row. What's your last...
Like the mushroom girl. She's gone.
Unfortunately, she's gone.
So she should.
What's the last meal that Mark Carroll is having, and what are you going to wash it down with?
I've got quite a few food groups I love, but I'll tell you what.
What's your last meal? You can have them all.
I'd have mince on toast.
Underrated.
Mate, with a little bit of a chopped up tomato and the sauce on 8 pieces of toast.
Oh,
Mate, I absolutely love.
I had
love
that. I
mince.
had that on Sunday morning for
So
Father's
good.
Day. Like,
Yeah, that'd be my last meal, and of course, it'd have to be one of my beers.
Spud
Spudweiser. Give a butter spud. I'm going to give you a butter spud right now. But, mate, it's
put them right there.
yeah, I've always wanted to make a beer as well, MG, and
Yeah, I
call
know.
it Spudweiser.
Yeah, how's it going? Is it hard?
It's a very expensive hobby, but fun. Now, for me to walk in and see my beer there next to the Tuies, I love it, mate. I absolutely love it.
And what about your Sea-Doo? You still with your...
Yeah, I've got everything going at the moment. Mate, it's my fix. Sunday morning,
Well, you need
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I can get the Woy from Bayview in 30 minutes. 120 clicks
Wow.
on the water.
Is there like
Quick
is there a
food.
posse of you?
Hey, I've got 2 or 3,
Yeah.
like you, mate.
You
don't
got
go
a
over
mates.
there. You need mates.
Yeah, good.
And yeah, we've all got jet skis, and yeah, we're like crazy. We love it.
Well, Spudley, about time we got you on. This has been your Life in 5. And thank you to Lily Pilly Wine.
Fantastic.
There's your wine, brother. A little Sauv Blanc and some Shiraz.
Love you, mate.